Yeah, I can probably provide you guys with it. Do you want to make your own sauerkraut? Because I could send you one for a fermented sauerkraut. I can send you something for that if you'd like. Okay, so steamed veggies is an easy way to steaming your veggies makes your food more able to digest. It's easier to digest, and it keeps the nutrients intact. So a lot of times if you like grill, or if you, you know, different ways to cook things help keep the nutrients in your food more. So steaming is a really good way. I just put like a little bit of water, put a lid on it, and just let the steam cook, like my broccoli, right? Or something like that. Healthy fats. So healthy fats are very important. Getting, you know, you're gonna get healthy fats from like your egg yolks. Fish is great. Fish is a really good way to get in healthy fats. So salmon, avocados is a big one. Ghee is a really great one. Coconut oil. Those are all things that are really easy on your digestive system, and they promote healing. So all of your cells in your body actually have a lipid layer to them, which is a fat layer. And if you don't have enough fat in your body, it actually causes more inflammation. Isn't that crazy? So healthy fat is very good for us because it helps to protect our cells, and it actually is very important in our inflammatory pathways. Okay, so our body needs to decrease inflammation, you need good fats. Okay, now good fats isn't chips, you know, and like potato chips. That's a different kind of fat. But yeah. And then fruit, of course. Your fruit, it's best to eat in the mornings. And if you are struggling with something like a candida, then I would, you know, you need to limit fruit sometimes as well. Okay, so I'm gonna try to hustle through the rest because I just looked at the time, and I want you to be able to at least try some of these things. So digestive healing how-to, okay? So these are things that can help you to be able to heal your digestive system. An anti-inflammatory diet is very good, okay? So anti-inflammatory diet, anti-inflammatory foods, that helps limit your reactivity, and it keeps the gut inflammation minimal. If you have food sensitivities or like a dumping syndrome, right? So if you eat something and then have to run to the bathroom right away, that's a good indication that you have some food sensitivities, okay? Because your body's just wanting to get it out as soon as you eat it, okay? So that's a reactive symptom. So if you have that, then, or bloating with certain foods, you know, you have to try to avoid what makes you reactive. So if it's dairy, which is a really common one, let's say you eat dairy, maybe like cheese or something, and then you're running to the bathroom, then try to avoid dairy while you're doing your anti-inflammatory diet. Does that make sense? Because you want to avoid those foods at least while you're doing gut healing, because otherwise you're doing more damage as you're trying to heal, which is going to counter-react. Okay, probiotics to help reinstate the good flora. So probiotics is a really good one. There are, you know, good, better, best probiotics. There's a lot of probiotics out there. When you're doing any kind of gut healing, you want some that are good. And so making sure to if you need recommendations on that, I can help you, because there are some really good ones out there. I was gonna bring one with me that's in a powder that I just love, but I lost the train of thought this morning. Fermented foods. If you are doing a probiotic, I would try to do a high colony count probiotic. So you'll notice that when you look at probiotics, it'll say like the billion count, right? CFUs is what it's called. And so you want to get 50 to 100 billion CFUs when you're doing any kind of intense gut healing work, okay?
So Kristene, do you remember the name of it?
So there's one called Mega Mucosa. Microbiome Labs is a really good brand. That comes from them. So Microbiome Labs is a really great one. I also really love Claire Labs. Claire Labs is a very good brand of probiotics. They have one that is, actually they have several that are like in that 50 to 100 billion range, and they have multiple strains in it, which is very good. So those would be probably my top three. There's also one that is really good if you struggle with a lot of bloating. I have one that's a little bit lower CFUs, because sometimes when you have a lot of that, you have to start small to go big. Does that make sense? Like going straight to 100 billion might really not feel good on your tummy. And so there's one that actually is a lower strain that helps with bloating and such. So if any of you are interested in that, just let me know and I can send you links or help you, you know, get to the right one.
Kristene?
Yeah.
Are you referring to, I'm not too sure about probiotics other than what my doctor recommended, but 75-year-old brain is
Oh, I get
a
it.
glitch. So probiotic in pill form is what you're referring to?
Pill or powder. So
Or
some of
powder.
them can be a powder.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep, and sometimes depending on the strain, you want it in a pill form because then it comes in, it's like a coated pill that will survive your acid in your stomach, which is important for some certain types of strains. So yeah, but depending on which one, you know, powders can be okay depending on the strain of bacteria.
I went to Costco and I grabbed the pharmacist out of the cage and said, come show me what's the best and what you would, you know, recommend. And I've been taking it and it's really helped me quite a bit.
Good.
Because my doctor took out 10 inches of my intestines without me knowing.
Oh.
And the reason is because if there was an emergency in my system, then you had to cut out 10 inches.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, well, and it's gonna be even more important for you to keep your gut healthy then, because it's had some trauma to it, you know? And so I love that you're on a probiotic, and these things will really help you too. So that'll be great.
So what's the time frame of taking it, and is there a certain
Yeah,
time?
great question. So I like to actually, it's really smart to change up your probiotic, honestly. So like I would say every 6 to 8 weeks, you know, it's a good thing to just change it up, and you can recirculate them back in, but your body really thrives. Remember how we talked about the microbiome and all the different bacterias, right? And so getting a wide range of different bacterias is really great. It's really smart to do that. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Okay, so L-glutamine, we talked about that. That's an amino acid that literally helps heal your lining, your gut lining. Collagen is very good. Colostrum, which might sound weird, okay, because you probably have heard of colostrum from breastfeeding, okay? You're not necessarily drinking breast milk, although that would probably be really good for your gut, honestly. That's why we've, you know, God made it so we could feed our babies with that first and foremost, right? It's like really a powerful thing. But you can get colostrum in a pill form that is like from goat milk or something, right? And it's really good for gut healing, okay? So that's something that you can do.
So are you referring to goat's milk as a straight form or processed form?
That's a great question. I don't drink a lot of goat's milk, but as far as this goes, I have a brand that I like. I think it's Professional Formulas, and they have a colostrum that is sourced from a goat's milk, but it's in capsules. And so, yeah, it's more of like a powder. They've powdered the colostrum so that you can use it for healing.
The reason I ask, because there's a family out in Inca that sells goat milk.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, raw milk is really good for you. It is. If you can get your hands on raw milk, as long as it's a clean, okay, if you know the sourcing, right? If you know it's a clean farm and they have good practices, then it's good. The thing with not homogenizing it is just, you know, the cleanliness of the facility that like mass produces it, right? So you just got to be careful, like, but most like farms are very cautious and careful about that. So yeah, that would be good. Like a raw goat's milk would be great.
Great, thank you.
Herbal teas, which I brought some, like marshmallow root is so good for gut healing. Ginger, licorice root, astragalus root, fennel, aloe vera juice is very powerful for gut healing. I brought some coconut water for you guys to try too. Coconut water is really good. So it helps your body. Coconut water.
Oh.
Yeah. So coconut water it helps your body with electrolytes. It's really fantastic. And so your mucous membranes, when you're healing them, they have to, like, electrolytes are really important with that, like, flow of fluids in your body. So it's really good actually for things like blood pressure. It's also something that helps decrease bloating after meals. So if you actually follow your meal with coconut water, a lot of times that helps minimize bloating. How would you know that, right? So cool. This is like an aloe vera. I know this says throat coat, but this is actually one that you can find. The reason why I got this is you can find this in most of the stores around here. And they have, this one in particular has licorice root, fennel, it has slippery elm, it has ginger, it has mullein. Mulleine's another really good digestive blend. Clove, this is just a really good one. You know, your throat is a mucous membrane, right? So this has things in it that will help heal mucous membranes, okay? So that's a really good one for digestion. This is a good one for digestion. There's apple cider vinegar. This one in particular has a prebiotic added to it.
So do you drink that straight?
Well, not all of it, right? So I would,
well, no, I'm just saying, so you take
tablespoon or something.
yeah, just a
tablespoon?
tablespoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so this, you don't want to drink a whole lot of apple cider vinegar. That would really throw off your like pH and acidity levels. But having a little bit of this every day is really powerful for helping to keep your hydrochloric acid levels in check. It has a lot of different really great things that it helps with. Okay, check hydrochloric acid levels and enzymes. If you need to, there's a lot of really good ones out there. So if you feel like you struggle to digest your foods, if it feels like it just sits there, it's heavy after meals, or you don't digest maybe fats well, you know, if you eat something fatty or fried or something, you know, and you struggle with those things, then eating enzymes and a hydrochloric acid booster is really a powerful way to be able to digest. Hydrochloric acid in your stomach actually digests protein and fat, okay? So that's where it's mostly responsible for the breakdown of proteins and fats. So if you're struggling with hydrochloric acid levels, or if you are on like an acid inhibitor, right? If maybe you went to your doctor and said, I have acid coming up my throat, he put you on an acid inhibitor, and then you struggle with breaking down your foods, that's a lot of times why, okay? So you might feel like your proteins and your fats particularly don't break down very well. And so you will really benefit by adding some enzymes, okay? So that's something to look at. And then fish oil really helps to control inflammation. So bone broth has a little bit of fats in it, which would be good, but a healthy fish oil, try not to get like a farm raised, you know, mackerel, you know, dirty bottom feeding fish. If you can get like salmon, you know, wild Alaskan sockeye salmon, or wild harvested fish, those are gonna be a little bit better. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly go into this. This is about collagen, and this is really surprising to me, so I think you'll really find this interesting. But your collagen stores in your body, which actually are a big part of your joints, your gut, any mucous membranes, they decline rapidly with age, okay? So you have really good collagen. You know, you can see it here, right? Your 20s, your 40s, your 60s, okay? So, in fact, the study, let's see. I like to refer to collagen as the super glue that holds us together. Our body naturally produces collagen, which is essential. It's essentially a long chain of amino acids. Collagen is the most abundant molecule in our body, second to water. And it makes up 90% of our connective tissues and bone, 70% of our skin, and as we age, let's see, collagen stores are naturally declining. We produce less of it each year. By age 40, it has depleted faster than we can produce it. By age 60 and beyond, the majority of our collagen is depleted. It's gone. So getting on a good collagen is really important because you want your body to be held together, right? You want your junctions of your gut to be held together, right? So there's some really good collagens out there that you can, and that'll help with gut healing. That'll also help with joints you know, tendons and feeling like you can move better too. So this just goes into collagen again, and I already talked about immunity. So just to end, I guess I'll just like, you know, ask what you feel like wellness is to you, and really think about this, because a lot of times in our world, we think of wellness as just the absence of like disease or symptoms, but you want to think of it, I think of it at least as living each moment you're given to the fullest. So if you want to go out and throw the ball with your grandkid, if you want to go up like to the ski hill, right? It's really about like being able to live your life to the fullest, right? And so that's just, you know, what I wanted to end with just hitting it home of what a priority it is to be able to take care of the gift that you have in your body. It's really our greatest gift, and we only get one of them. And so making these changes and shifts, the little ones that can really help bring value and help you to feel better in those moments that you're blessed with, the better. So anyway, and I'm at an hour. So if you have time, I'd love to sample you some of these. If you don't, I totally understand. So if you want to stay around and ask questions, I don't know how long we have this for, but I'd be happy to. Okay.
Until I reach out.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
No, but you're good to say, but do you need little cups for them
I
to
have
take?
some.
Do you
Yep.
have some?
I
Because
do have some.
I don't know that I have any.
I don't like to eat in plastic, so I bought these little, like, you can just use these. So for sampling.
But did you